Welcome to another night in the NBA. This is your 10-minute recap of the last night of NBA hoops. And the main topic we're going to start with is a showdown in Texas between the Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs, which also just happened to feature two of the best young big men in the entire league, that being Alperen Sengun of the Houston Rockets and likely Rookie of the Year Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs. Now, this is a matchup between a very good offensive big man in Sengun and an elite defensive big man who's pretty good on offense himself in Victor Wembanyama. So this was an interesting one with seeing how Wemby would match up against Sengun, especially in the post. And the answer to that was not very well, because Alperen Sengun in this game, 45 points, a career high, 16 rebounds, I think might also be a career high, and he had 5 steals. Sengun lit up this game, and he has been awesome this season. I know, when we're talking about his draft class, it's that Scotty Barnes and, Cade Cunningham draft class. And a lot of people would tell you probably Scotty's the best guy right now because he was an all-star. The West is better. Alperen Sengun has had a better season than Scotty Barnes, and I'll stick to that because he just does so much. And he's clearly been the Rockets' best player at a pretty young age. But in this game, he did have, again, 45, 16, 5 steals, 3 assists, 59% from the field, 19 of 32, really going to work in this one. And it gives the Rockets a win. 114-101 ends the Spurs 2-game streak. They had looked pretty decent as of late, beating the Thunder, and then I think the Pacers is the Spurs 2 wins as of late, but the Rockets come out on top, and that's huge for them because they have struggled a little bit since starting the season pretty well. They're 27-34, but haven't been great as of late, with a few losses piling up, but now they make it 2 straight wins, with a win against Phoenix in Phoenix, a good comeback win, and now this one against the Spurs. But let's talk about Sengun for the season, because he's been really good for the year as a whole. For the season, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.2 steals, about 1 block, and is shooting 54% from the field. For a guy that's not completely in the post, that's pretty solid. And he just does everything. He passes, he creates for his teammates. He's probably the best playmaker on the team. I know Fred VanVleet leads the team in assists, but Sengun, really, really good passer for a big man. It has been called Baby Jokic a lot, and I don't think that's wrong, but he's also just a wizard with the basketball. He sees things a lot of other people don't, but he's not just a finesse big, because as we saw in this game, not afraid to put his shoulder into Wemby, drive into him, and score through him, and that is what won the Rockets this game, because if he doesn't go off like this, they just don't win. It's that simple. If he puts up his average of 21, then they're not going to win the game because they only won by 13. The 45 is what does it. Wemby in this one wasn't great, and that is another kind of positive for Sengun, because Wemby goes for 10 points, his lowest in a pretty long time, shooting just 40% from the field. The Rockets do also get 21 and 10 from Fred VanVleet, 19 from Cam Whitmore, 23 from Jalen Green, so sort of a team effort, but again, Alperen Sengun, dominant, is really impressive with how he's looked this season, especially in this game, but for the season as a whole, had a real all-star case and is clearly the future of Houston, probably their best big man since Yao Ming. I would say he's right now just about as good as Dwight was in Houston, if not even better. So Alperen Sengun, super impressive, and the Rockets take down the Spurs in the showdown in Texas. But now let's move on to some other action around the NBA. So, in other action around the NBA, we did have 8 other games on the night, 9 games in total, including the Rockets game that we just talked about, but let's just go through them in order and give a little bit of what happened in each of them. The Magic take down the Hornets in Charlotte. The Hornets, after that little post-deadline surge, have not been as good as of late. 5 straight losses now for Charlotte, including 6 of their last 7. So that spark post-deadline hasn't kept up, and Orlando takes this one despite nobody playing fantastic. Paolo Banchero, probably the best guy, 22 points on 47% from the field. And then for Charlotte, you do have 18 from Trey Mann, 21 from Vasilije Micic, and then 14 from Davis Bertans. So the trade deadline guys were leading this game for Charlotte, but they lose it 101-89. The Pelicans destroy the Raptors in Toronto. Without Scotty Barnes, it's going to be hard for Toronto to keep up, and New Orleans made it very clear that they were not the same level of team. 34 points for Trey Murphy. He's been really good lately. 10 threes for Trey Murphy as well. He's been fantastic over the past couple weeks, is really kind of breaking out and coming into his own here. 16, 8, and 9 for Zion. And then the Raptors are led in scoring by Emmanuel Quickley, who had 17. The Knicks face the Hawks in New York, and Atlanta continues kind of this owning of New York. As we look back to that post-game series a few years ago where Trae Young was Ice Trae, took out the Knicks. No Trae Young in this one, but 26 points from Jalen Johnson, 21 from DeJounte Murray, and 22 from DeAndre Hunter. For the Knicks, they do get 15 from Precious Achiuwa, 21 from Dante DiVincenzo, but Jalen Brunson out with a knee injury, and without Jalen Brunson, they are just not the same team as you might expect. Miami takes down the Pistons 118-110, 26 from Jimmy Butler, 18 from Duncan Robinson. Pistons led in scoring by Cade Cunningham with 23, 22 from Simone Fontecchio, who's been really good with Detroit, but Miami wins it thanks to a third quarter surge. The Nets take down the Sixers 112-107. This is one where the Sixers built like a 20-point-ish lead early, but the Nets come back and take it on their home floor. Nick Claxton, 17 and 10. They get 20 from Dorian Finney-Smith, 20 from Dennis Schroeder, and now Brooklyn has won 3 of its last 4 and 4 of its last 6. So really impressive run for Brooklyn here. I made a video a couple days ago saying Kevin Ollie is saving the Brooklyn Nets, and he's doing a really good job. The effort is clearly much higher. The defensive intensity has picked up. They're letting up like less than 110 pretty much every single game. They've been one of the best defensive teams in the league since getting Kevin Ollie in there. For Philly, led in scoring by Kelly Oubre with 30, but Tyrese Maxey was out with a concussion, so injuries kind of the theme of today. The Cavs take down the Celtics in one of the most shocking games of the day and probably the most interesting. Celtics up 22 in the fourth quarter, and that ensues a Cavalanche where the Cavs just make every three. Dean Wade especially, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 6 made threes, and hit the game winner, a putback, and he was fantastic. Dean Wade won them this game, 21 and 12 from Jared Allen as well, and the Celtics just got tired. They just got sleepy, they got bored, and they let this one slip away from them, which they just cannot do. But again, the Celtics have been fantastic this season, but that long win streak comes to an end. The Pacers take down the Mavs in Dallas. Luka Doncic was questionable before the game, but he did play, and it didn't matter because the Pacers still win. 19 and 11 from Tyrese Halliburton, 13 and 13 from Pascal Siakam. Despite the loss, man, strikes again. Despite the loss, Luka Doncic, 39, 10, and 11, really impressive triple-double, but they lose. And then in the last game of the day, this one goes to overtime. Suns versus Nuggets in Denver, and Phoenix steals it thanks to 28 from Grayson Allen. Hits 8 threes on nearly 70% of them, 35 from Kevin Durant as well. The Nuggets do get 28 from Jamal and 25 from Nikola Jokic, but both guys shoot sub 50% from the field, and the Nuggets lose. But that'll do it for this night in the NBA. Another night in the NBA. Now let's move to the next segment. This is the Moneyline Hotline, the place that keeps your bets from going cold. out. We are back on a roll with best bets of the day, hitting the first day of the ladder. I decided to go with the Nets game kind of last minute. I initially had thought about the Knicks, but with Jalen Brunson being rolled out, I decided to take the Nets, and that does hit -104. Again, we hit five straight, the first 5 best bets of the day, then lost with the Clippers losing to the Bucks without Giannis and Chris Middleton. A tough one, but we're kicking it back up, and we do hit the first leg of the ladder. Nets -104 versus Sixers, and you would have turned your $10 into 1962. And now the second leg today, March 6th, is Bucks +150 versus the Warriors. If Giannis plays, this is fantastic value. We'll get into what to do if Giannis is out. Right now he's questionable. The Bucks are 6-0 since the All-Star break, have looked fantastic, are one of the best defensive teams in the league, and the Warriors just got blown out by 52 by the Boston Celtics. So I love this one. Bucks +150 versus Warriors. Turn your 1962 to 49.05. If you started with $25, you'd be already up over 120 after today with this Bucks game. But now let's move to the actual predictions for the day as a whole. Getting into the model's predictions for today, March 6th. The best bet, like I said, I think is Bucks +1.8. The model says it is a flip game, but it's on the edge of being a standard one over the Warriors. Bucks +150, turn your $10 to 25. If Giannis is out, Bulls +4.7 over Jazz. That one is almost a clear favorite. Bulls -168, turn your $10 to 15.95. Again, a little over 50% may not seem like a lot to you, but it adds up over time. Trust me on that. We saw it with the last ladder. It adds up a lot quicker than you may think. So the Bulls one is the best value if Giannis is out. No Lauri Markkanen or Walker Kessler for Utah tonight. The underdogs would be the Bucks game, +1.8 over Warriors, but it flips to -3.6, a standard one for the Warriors if Giannis is out. If you can get decent odds on the Warriors if Giannis is out, maybe you take that. That's fine. With the Cavs +0.6 over the Hawks. Again, if Evan Mobley is out, it'll flip to the Hawks being favored, but Cavs +122, turn your $10 to 22.20. Then the safe parlay, safe-ish for the day, is Magic, Clippers, Bulls, and 76ers to win, which is +316. Solid odds on that one, and turn your $10 to 41.64. None of those games are flip games, I don't believe. So somewhat safe for the parlay. And then now let's get into the top 5 players of the day according to me. 45 points, 16 rebounds, and 5 steals for Alperen Sengun, 59% from the field. He was fantastic, the wizard. Trey Murphy, 34 points, 6 rebounds, 10 threes on 71% shooting from the field. Then Luka Doncic, despite the loss, at number 3, 39 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists on 50% shooting. At number 4, we have Dean Wade with 23 points, 8 rebounds, 6 threes, and 73% shooting from the field. And then rounding out the top 5 is Grayson Allen, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 8 threes, and 67% from the field. And then with getting into the top play of the day, it is this one, the Dean Wade putback game winner against the Celtics. Finishes that 22-point comeback. Cavs win with this Dean Wade shot. But now let's move into the viewer submitted questions. For the viewer submitted questions, I put up a community post every day after the games, sometimes at night, sometimes in the morning, but it'll be before the videos come out for sure. But I ask you for questions that you may have. You can also put them in the comments of this video for a chance to be featured in the next one. But let's not waste any time. Let's just get into the questions. We do have 2 of them today. The first one coming from Miles305. Why is Duncan Robinson not getting more most improved player consideration? He's not simply a great player who got more minutes so scored more. He's actually improved his overall game in every area. Make it make sense. For a lot of this, I agree with you. I don't think Duncan Robinson is just a more opportunity guy, because for a lot of his career, he's been kind of a standstill space guy who you just pass to and hits the open three, maybe stands in the corner or on the wing and just waits for the ball. But that's not the case this year. You've seen it so much. There's so much more dribble creation and self-creation for Duncan Robinson, like this play from last night where he sauced up a Star Thompson and finished with a reverse layup. Duncan Robinson is a much better player than he was last season, but he's not really getting any love for most improved player. If we look at the odds right now, it's Tyrese Maxey as the favorite, minus 360. Then the next guys, it's Kobe White at 2, Alperen Sengun at 3, Kuminga, J-Dub, Jalen Johnson, Scotty Barnes, Denny Avdia, and Cam Thomas. Duncan Robinson's not even on the list. And I thought to myself, hey, maybe the scoring's not up as much as you might want it to be. He's just that much of a better player, but he's not scoring more. But that's not the case either. Last year, he had 6.4 points per game, and this year he's up over 13. He's over doubled his scoring average from last season, but he's getting no love. It's hard for me to put him over some of these guys because Cam Thomas, I also don't think is getting enough love. Cam Thomas to be the last guy listed at plus 20,000 feels disrespectful because the scoring has jumped dramatically for Cam. But Denny Avdia has been good for like the second half of this year. Jalen Williams, I don't like giving second year guys most improved player. I think you're supposed to take a jump in your second season, so to me, I don't love that one. But Duncan Robinson could definitely be over some guys here, especially a guy like Avdia, who I really like, but I think Duncan has made a more notable improvement. But a lot of these guys are really good, but Duncan Robinson not even being listed does feel disrespectful. I'm with you, and he is a much better player than he was last season. Moving on to the next question, it is from CJ Stroud Lover. I'm an Ohio State fan. I love CJ Stroud too, so props for that. Hey Herm, I'm a big fan. Thanks. Can you make a video on award predictions like Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, MVP, and Most Improved Player? I'll definitely be interested in doing something like that at some point. If there's like a break in action, or maybe like towards the end of the year, I'll make like a official predictions video, but I'll just give you my thoughts on it right now. For MVP, I think it has to be Nikola Jokic once again. He's just the best player in the league. I think it's as simple as that. I think SGA is second, though. I think Luka Doncic has slipped because they keep losing. If the Mavs aren't going to be a solid seed, I can't give it to Luka. So to me right now, it's a clear two-man race between Nikola Jokic and SGA, but Jokic is still the best player in the league. I feel like he impacts winning more than anyone else, but analytics for the first time have someone close to Jokic, and that is SGA, who grades out really well analytically. But right now, I'm going to go with Jokic, although I think it is those two guys. In terms of Rookie of the Year, I think it's Victor Wembanyama. I think he's separated himself. He is that guy. He's just better than all the other candidates. And it's not even close anymore, because since that ankle injury in December, he's been easily the best rookie since that point, despite even having some minutes restrictions. Most Improved Player, I guess it's Maxey. Maxey is the favorite. I'm going to go with Kobe White because Maxey was good last year. Maxey was like a fringe all-star level player, but Kobe White has gone from what some people might have called a bust. I think Kobe White was running out of time to really take a leap like this, but he takes the leap, and now he feels like a near all-star player. He has a lot of 30-point scoring nights. I'm going to go with Kobe White for my Most Improved Player. For Coach of the Year, I think it has to be Mark Daigneault of the OKC Thunder. People thought they might be better this year, but I think they're exceeding expectations at the highest level. They're the 2 seed in the West. They've been phenomenal. Their offense is really impressive, and that's thanks to the system that Daigneault has implemented. I really love what he's done. Sam Presti would be my GM of the year because I love that as well. But Sixth Man of the Year, I guess it's Jordan Clarkson has come off the bench a lot. Tim Hardaway Jr., whatever you want to do there. I don't think there's an obvious Sixth Man of the Year at this point. It kind of feels like a toss-up, but Tim Hardaway Jr. is one I really like. Russell Westbrook isn't bad, someone from the Clippers, but that one is more of a toss-up than the other ones. But those would be my predictions. Defensive player of the year right now, I said it in a video the other day, I'd still give to Rudy Gobert because he's the best player on the best defense and is probably the best defender in the league. Wemby to me would be the number 2, but I still think Gobert should win it. But that'll be it for me today, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. I love making the daily recaps, so I hope you love them as well. But that'll be it for me. Think about subscribing. I'm on the road to 13,000 subscribers, but that's going to be it for me again. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Peace.